Hi, everybody. It's Dennis, the active trend trader. Are you one of the traders who has a difficult time finding great growth stocks to trade every weekend? Well, we've got the answer. Welcome to How to Make Money Trading Stocks and Options. We're going to cover three things. Our panel of expert traders has picked out three top shelf growth stocks that are setting up and ready potentially to trade next week. Number two, an analysis of the indexes showing which ones are strongest, which ones are weakest, and what the potential is for a move next week. And then we'll also cover another trading problem or issue that you may be having, and we'll provide an answer to that will help you, one, maximize your profits and minimize your losses. So let's get into today's session right now. Okay, well, good afternoon, everybody. This is Dennis Wilburn, the active trend trader. I want to welcome you to the How to Make Money Trading Stocks, Options, and we'll give you a couple of tips. I've got a good tip for you coming into today that I would like to say, hey, I've got some homework for you this weekend. Go back and take a look at the stock market back in 1928. You can go to the S&P. You can go to the Dow. And just take a look at the topping pattern going back into, prior to the major bear market that, the Great Depression bear market of 1929. I'm not saying that's what's going to happen, but it's always good to do a what if scenario. And hopefully, I can go so many places with that, but but what I would like you to do is just think about what would you do if the market went into a bear market and it was a severe bear market, dropping 86% sometime within the next year and a half. What would you do? What would your plan? Journal it all out. Because one of the things that happens is when you go into a major correction like that, or major reset like that, is that it provides some tremendous opportunities coming out the other side. But you have to be ready. You have to be ready. So, just work your way through that. Take a look at the charts, see what the charts look like and all that kind of stuff. And then basically, welcome to today's session. And I want to welcome Steve and Anil. Yeah, SQQ. Yeah, that's a good choice, Mark. Steve and Anil, sorry, for whatever reason, we can't see you guys. There's something wrong. I am using a new, I don't know if it's on my side, their side, but we'll try to get that looked at in Zoom to see where Zoom has changed their stuff. So welcome, gentlemen.
No problem. I guess
Glad to be here.
You can see my static picture.
And so, well, I don't know if I can or not. We'll see.
I can.
Yeah, when I speak, my picture comes up on my screen, static picture.
Okay.
It's in my profile. But anyway, let's continue.
Okay, let's get on good. And so let's go ahead and jump on into what we want to do. And so that's the homework for this weekend. So just okay, good, guys. Thank you. For whatever reason, I'm not seeing it on my side. So, I was talking about patience, persistence, profits. I need to add another P to my triple P. I need to also add in there planning because through proper plan, all great traders have a plan. And, you guys are great traders. You need to be working on your plan. That's what we're going to be focusing on with active trend trading. If you're looking for maximizing your profits and maximize your profits, minimizing your losses, active trend trading is a proven, clear, and simple system that does what? It focuses on helping you trade your way to wealth and financial freedom. My goal is to basically hit 40% ROI on a yearly basis as a minimum, and a 65% win loss with a 65% win loss ratio. Is that a guarantee that that's going to happen? Heavens no, because we never know what the market's going to do. And as you're very much aware, if you've been trading for a while, this year has been absolutely kind of wonky, certainly different than, yeah, look at what years. Yeah, Barry, that's a great question. My data, when I go to full scale on my data on my Thinkorswim platform, takes me back to about 1927. And so you get a good buildup from 1927 and 1929. There was a run of about 100% that the markets were, the S&P was up, and then it rolled over. And then over the next year, about year and a half, it dropped 86%. From our current level on the S&P, an 86% drop from current levels would take us down to about 635 on the S&P. Now, could that happen? I don't know. I mean, a lot of people are talking about the big, huge, major, and I'm not following that. I don't follow this kind of information, but they're talking about there's going to be potentially a big financial reset that's going to shift things around in the total world over the next year and a half or so. But sometimes when people say stuff like that, they're looking for it and it never happens. And so we'll see. We'll see what transpires. Let's get into
generally, Dennis, is market tops are never called publicly until after the fact.
Oh yeah, without a doubt. But I also think that the charts can give you clues, just like they did with Enron.
Sure.
The Enron charts were screaming, "Do not buy this stock."
Yeah.
And so, because you never know what's going to happen to the downside, but could there be some earth-shaking things that would shift the balance of things in the world? That there's forces out there that are trying to make that happen. Oh, great! I just got filled on something. I'm happy, and it was a profit.
Ka-ching, ka-ching.
Did you guys hear that? And so let's go ahead and jump over to where are we sitting at right now? I still believe it's on Peter Brandt. And that's why I encourage you. Take a look at those charts, and then and then basically say, okay, what do I need to do? And it gets back to you trade the chart in front of you, trade it, take your profits, and do your trajectories, but all the time. But you also have to have a good idea of, well, what will happen if, and where do I want to get back in the market? Because believe it or not, after the market went into about a 40 to 45% correction from the highs back in 1929, then they rallied 40%. So again, what does that sound like? Fibonacci time. And so remember, hey, all the material we present is for trading purposes only. Traders should always pay for trading. New method prior to the risk of their own personal capital. Past performance is not an indication or a promise of future performance. So here's where we're sitting at a nice little bounce up in the month of August. And I want to thank some chatting with some of our members like Eric Gallam and Rocco basically got straightened me right out so I could basically get some, not better trades, but just more balanced trades. And I think everybody who's an active trend trader in premium or autopilot trading member were able to benefit from that. Isn't that right, Jeff? And so here's where we were last week. Here's where we are today. We have basically, as I was sharing earlier in the year, when things looked really bad for active trend trading, I said, we will, before the end of the year, overtake the indexes. We have now overtaken the indexes, and I'm looking for what? My upside up about 40% by the end of the year as a minimum. And again, I want to thank the time that Eric Rocco spent in chatting through some of the things that I'm working on, because it's going to make the active trend trading system even stronger than it is right now. So let's go ahead and jump into what's going on with the markets. As we sit right now, as you can see, the spiders are running up. There is no indication that the spiders want to crap out and die. At the same time, what do we have? I have a kind of a hanging man, or at least a spinning top doji at a high. And the question I have is, if the spiders gas out, in other words, stall out before they get to back up to the 786 level, that might be an indication that the momentum could be waning significantly. The other thing I want to show you is what's going on here is, as we are pushing up to new highs, what is volume doing? Matter of fact, from the time we hit here and jumped up to this new high, what's volume been doing? It's been falling off. It's been falling off. What's momentum doing? It's negative divergence, negative divergence. Now, again, that doesn't mean that we're going to go into a big, huge correction. However, it is, because basically you have to look at topping is a process. Topping is a process typically, and bottoms tend to be more of an event. In other words, they take place over a very short period of time. But topping, that's when you get these rounded tops, and then it rolls over, and then it dies. And so that's what we're looking at. So nothing here to write home about. What's going on the weekly charts? Yeah, weekly charts look like we're going to push on up. This 786 and the 100% extension here is based off of the run from where? From this low to that high. And I'm expecting a symmetric move up to the 100. If, for whatever reason, we get they pour in some gas that improves the momentum, I will look for a move on up to, if we break through the 786, that brings the 100 and the 1272 into play. And so that's what I would be looking at. It hasn't happened yet. And because we've got to first get up to the 786 before we can do that. What kind of a reversal? At this particular point in time, although we've had 1, 2, 3, and if you're if you follow Bill and Neil, or if you follow the guy's name slips my mind on these pullbacks, we've had 3 strong pullbacks. Oftentimes at the third or the fourth, or the fourth or the fifth, they get a lot weaker and they start shaping up to the downside. And okay, the Qs, what's going on with the Qs? The Qs are, and Eric, I want to share with you, I did some investigation on that website you gave me, and I want to let you know, the Qs are the Q, and I'll share this with everybody, if you need to trade one of the index ETFs, if you want to, the Qs turn out to be over, I checked it out over a 5-year period. The Qs are the strongest. So just be aware of that. And so what are we looking at? It in fact did push up, and actually, no, okay, we made a high here. Now we're looking at a pullback into the Fibonacci fib box. And so that would be my target to the downside for a reversal up and a move up. Again, what's going on with volume? Volume slacking up. What's going on with market forecast? Yeah, it's up above the 0 line. Correction, up above the 80 line. So, I'm not going to be a buyer here. I will be a buyer on pullbacks and flags back into preferably the 20-day moving average, or even the 34 or the 50. So just keep that in mind. That's where we would want to basically look at building a position in the Qs. Where it's at right now, I was coming up with a term, and I have no fly zones around certain areas. Well, this is a no buy zone up here for the Qs. Russell. Well, Russell can provide some really exciting times, and I love trading the Russell simply because when it does get into its moving mode, it tends to surpass short time frame the other indexes. So what am I looking at? IWM. Well, as you can see, IWM, TSI turning over, market forecast turning over. I do not know why I do not have that down here. If you're using the market forecast, go ahead and draw in, and I'll show you how to do that real quick. Go ahead and draw in your 80 and your 20 line, because that is a very important line. Both of those are very important levels, and I'll tell you why right now. Is that it's that long-term or intermediate term that long-term intermediate line, that's the dark green line. If it crosses back below the 80 line, like it did over here, and it is pointed down, you want to trigger your trades primarily to the downside. Now, when it pops up, and you can almost take this to the bank. It's an amazing indicator. And I don't know if it's available on any other platforms, but it is available on the Thinkorswim platform. And it's an old throwback from the Invest Tool days. Those of you who traded in Invest Tools, you'll know about this indicator very much. And there's the other one. Same here. When the dark green line pops back up above the 20 line, oftentimes that is your trigger to, I want to focus on taking trades to the long side. So you may not have known that, but that's a power aspect of that. So what are we looking at right now? You know, not a lot of anything. I will draw in my fibs from here to here. That gives me my extensions. Where's my magic fib box? Right down there. Draw that in also. And so that's where we would anticipate a pullback back into that area. May not make it simply because of what? Well, because we've got all the moving averages switch back around and turning up to the upside. So it may be if we only pull back to the 78% retracement, that may be where we bounce from. I'm anticipating, like I said, October, November, December for IWM to outperform the other indexes. That's what the seasonality does for us. And so, gentlemen, that's what I've got. I need a pullback so I can get long on either the Qs guys or IWM. What do you think?
I don't disagree, although I don't anticipate the market moves so much as I trade what the market gives me. I try to trade what the market gives. I mean, I see your scenario, and it certainly could happen, but it also may not.
Yeah,
So
well, yeah. And that's okay.
Yeah, yeah. I think I try to be ready for any scenario, and I tend to be looking. I think we're in an overall long-term trend, and until that changes, I'm looking for long side trades. Yeah.
Roger that.
Yeah.
So, Anil?
I'm basically trying fixed on the system that I follow, and if I get the indication, I get it out fairly quickly.
Okay, excellent. So anyway, that's what I'm seeing with the indexes, guys. And so now let's have some fun. Okay, let's have some fun. Let's see. Let's go with Steve first today.
Okay. My pick is Crowd.
CrowdStrike, huh?
CrowdStrike Holdings. It's been on on and off the IBD 50 list, but mostly on the last 6 months.
Okay.
We've had a nice trend. We've gone sideways. We've had a fairly complex pullback to just below the 50-period moving average, and then it looks like we bounced. I missed that move of mainly because it was below the 50, but now it's had a nice move up due to earnings. We've had a bit of a pull because of earnings. We had a little weakness, and I think strength's coming back in. So I like today's price action. We pulled right back to the 8-period moving average, and we've got buyers coming in, albeit the volume is low. But I remain bullish on the market. I believe we're still in a buying mode, so I'll take this long.
Okay.
Above yesterday's high is my entry. Yeah.
Okay. Great.
Stop is just the low the last 2 days, whatever that is.
Okay. So you're in long right now, Steve?
Yes.
Okay.
But in long today.
Now, if somebody could get in long prior to the end of the close of the day, but let's say they wait till Monday, would you
Sure.
Would you tell them, hey, if, you might get a little bit of a pullback into today's body?
If we get that pullback, I certainly use Monday as an entry. But if we got a gap, I don't think I chase it.
Oh, okay. Okay. Yeah. That sounds like a winner. I like it.
Yeah.
So let's see. And what did this have on it? This has got full weekly options, which, that's one of the things. It's not a criteria for whether I'm going to trade something or not. I just like to see it because it tells me if it's got weekly options, this company is attracting a lot of attention. So I know, well, Anil sent me his choice last night. I know what happened with this stock overnight also. Oh, remember, guys, the market is closed on Monday. So enjoy Labor Day.
Mm-hmm.
So Anil, walk us through what you're going to do with this.
Yeah, my stock is DOCU. And actually, my system gave a signal a few days ago.
Okay.
And I bought it in anticipation of the earnings that it will go up.
Okay.
But it did not go up the way I expected, and I had a large position. So yesterday, before the earning, I sold everything except just kept about $1,000, about 3 shares, and got out.
Right.
Earnings were fine. And so I got right back in today, early morning.
Okay, cool.
So I picked it up again. Now I'm back in there at about cost of 300.
Yeah, that is really awesome because this gave a really nice move. It did not gap up this morning at the open.
No, and I saw it after market. It had gone down a couple of dollars. So
yeah. So I love it. So often a lot of times you don't get those earnings like that. Oftentimes they'll gap up.
yeah,
But this was one of those where it took off right off of yesterday's quasi hammer off of yesterday's support and then worked up from there. So good job. If somebody's not in this trade right now, what would you suggest?
I think it's still good because percentage-wise, it's moved not too much. So
Okay.
I'm fine to get in now even.
And I would look for about a 50% pullback.
Okay.
Half back as a potential entry.
Yeah, half back for a potential entry, which would be right about 302, 303, somewhere around that area.
Yeah.
Which would also, it may not get back that much. It may be back about the 304 level. But the thing that I would be watching at is because it did not launch all the way through and break through that past high there. It may need to just pull back, recoil just a little bit so it can get the momentum to break through that. But we've liked DocuSign for a long time. So great pick, man. And you were actually probably in DocuSign, or at least I know that DocuSign has come up numerous times in our discussions. And so, Okay, let me get I had two picks, but I'm going to go with, well, first I'll show you the pick that I'm not going to go with, MAT, because you may want to say, well, I kind of like that. It's a lower price stock. It's looking pretty good. You get a two-line cluster a couple of days ago, and we're bouncing back up off the moving averages. Still needs to get through that level of resistance there, but clearly you could say, yeah, I want to buy this. You can buy it right now. It is, or if you're going to wait till Tuesday of next week, I would look at something closer to the moving averages, but that's just the way I trade it. I trade the pullbacks a little bit. But you can buy it right now, because even if you take out the lows of right there, you're looking at less than 2%. So it also has weekly options. You can do some option trades with this. With the anticipation, it's going to move on back up to, as you can see, it's been in a sideways, kind of a range bound move. I'd anticipate a move all the way back up to 143, which is only about 6%. And so just be aware of that. So that's the one. However, what I'm going with is, and I'll explain why, PayPal. One, the reason why is the moving averages on PayPal have already started to extend up. My market forecast is turning up also. You remember I said that green line, once it crosses above the 20 line, I want to be looking at long trades. This is one of those things. We had a huge buy time there when we came out of here, and that broke out of that area. It is pulling back to retest the breakout, and now it's moving higher. Again, I could either buy right now. Where's my potential stop loss at today's low? How far is that away? About 2%. If I want to wait till Tuesday, I would not buy a directional option on this today. I would not buy a directional option on this today, simply because you've got 3 days worth of time that's going to be spent waiting for the markets to reopen on Tuesday. So I'm looking at, I look at a pullback into the midsection of the day's candlestick, or right about, it may pull back just a little bit, or it may gap and go. And I would have no problem, depending on how far it gapped, taking a gap and go on that. So Mark says the TSI cross on DocuSign. Yeah, I think it did. So as you see here, this trade started shaping up way back here. And if you're a premium member of the active trend trading members and or a Autopilot trading, I'm going to be offering some training going on how to dissect this. It's called a two-step pattern for how to pyramid in. Premium members are going to get it, and I may open that up to other training if you're interested in it. There would be a small fee for the training, though. DocuSign. Let me go back to that real quick, Mark. Yeah, TSI crossed up right just about the zero line, which is a strong level of support. And so that's basically what we've got for today, guys. So we chatted through a lot. We are at our allotted time.
Dennis, just a quick note. It was almost my pick for today.
What's that?
PayPal was almost my pick for today. It was between Crowd and PayPal.
Oh, really?
And it went to Crowd there. It was very close.
So PayPal was almost your pick today?
Yep.
Okay. Well, I always wait on the picks. I wait until you guys pick, and then I go and go and research. Okay, hey, I go and look for the dregs that are left over.
Maybe you get the better trades.
I don't know. What's that, Anil?
I said, you get it all figured out.
So, well, yeah, once I see what you guys are doing, then I sneak in. So, hey guys, I just want to remind you that the Autopilot trading system has now combined. It includes both the top growth stocks and the leverage ETFs. There's what the value is on a monthly basis. We are basically offering it for about a $99 per month, approximately $99 per month. It can be paid for in either but charged on a yearly basis is that. The 3 payments of that is we have it set up, and you just find that over. And here's what you get. One, there's our top 5 Autopilot growth stocks, which we put out every week, along with the leveraged ETFs. Look forward to some changes in the leverage ETFs in the very near future, because basically I'm going to focus on the big winners from from past years, and that's where we can direct our money. It would basically be, it's much better to direct our trading towards the leverage ETFs that have the better winning track record. It opens up the window for us to do better longer term and build that wealth. So you can find that over on activetrendtrading.com/autopilot. So that's it for today, guys. I just want to welcome and thank Steve and Anil. I will figure out why I will try to figure out why your camera wasn't working, and I'm sure it's somewhere in the body of the Zoom. So remember, 2021, consistent and disciplined wealth building. And I'm going to be focusing the last 4 months of this year on that wealth building to generate financial freedom. The most trading systems and trading education offered do not even cover those 2 things. And I don't know, maybe it's where my time, where I am on my life journey, but I recognize that, I wish somebody would have taught me about that a little bit earlier in life. So I'm going to take that on and help coach people up and mentor people up on that. So again, aloha, trade well and prosper. Start building now. And also remember your homework for the weekend. And email me, or if you're watching this on the video on YouTube channel, drop a note in the comment section about what you found out from your, or what you discovered from your homework. So if you do not follow us on YouTube, hit the subscribe button, hit the bell, and basically a new video will come up there. And if you haven't seen it, I did finish the Thinkorswim On Demand Part 2 on the On Demand Simulator Part 2, which was trading options. That is available now on the Market Tech Doc YouTube channel. So Steve and Anil, guys, thank you very much. Have a absolutely wonderful Labor Day. Not too much barbecue or whatever you're going to be doing.
Same to you, Dennis. Always a pleasure.
Okay, we'll talk to you guys later. Aloha. God bless everybody.
Bye now.